The village is practically abandoned.
Morning, Poirot.
Major, you are here already?
I've already worked with the dog. He'll do as I say. Are you ready?
Proceed, Major.
Stand at attention, Baskerville. Heel.
It's a miracle, that is.
Sit. Easy as anything to train a dog. You just know how to talk to them.
Your skill is extraordinary, Major. Now I will open the door. Command him to enter and we will let nature take its course.
Ready when you are, Poirot. Enter Baskerville. Baskerville, enter the shop. He won't budge, Poirot. Can't say what the trouble is. Have you any way to lure him inside?
Hastings, you will need to find something to lure Baskerville into this shop.
Hello, Mr. Poirot. Not like you to look so out of sorts.
Did you not say the key to finding the treasure was to start on the island summit? Hastings, we are not here for the treasure hunt.
Well, that's what most believe, eh? What of it?
The directions I discovered led to where the tennis court is now.
Don't tell me you dug up Mrs. Castle's tennis court.
Yes, very amusing. Have you any idea where we could have gone wrong?
Well, let me see. Oh, rot.
Oh, rot, why do you say this?
Well, if you started at the current high point on the island, you would easily go astray.
The current high point?
Yes, you misunderstood me.
I? Poirot? He does not misunderstand.
But you have. Let me explain. That hill is the highest point on the island now. But of course it wasn't back in Tom Cutter's day. That was long before the hotel, remember? They levelled the land around there when they built it. The highest point used to be... let me see. You know that grassy path out from the main entrance a ways? The one that leads to the bathing beach? Well, that used to be much higher. That's where old Tom used to sit and watch. You really did dig up the tennis court?
Good day to you, Monsieur Bagby.
Yeah, if you'd like a game of darts, just ask. I'm afraid I need some time to miss...
From the look of those awards, this chap Bagby's won quite a few dart championships. Ugh, a corned beef sandwich and well past its prime by the smell of it.
That is exactly as Poirot was thinking, Hastings.
Was that poor Baskerville again? You'd think he'd learn not to come round here anymore.
Voila, Madame Hughes. The case of the missing post is solved.
Why, do you mean to say my dear little Chloe knocked those letters back there by accident?
That your cat pushed them there to have the room for the catnap is fact. Whether it was an accident, it is not for Poirot to say.
Oh, Mr. Poirot, how can I ever thank you?
It is my pleasure to assist you, madame. However, there is a kindness you can do Poirot in return.
What is it?
Choose wisely, Hastings. I could make good use of your testing equipment. Excellent, Hastings. You are sharpening the detective instincts.
I'm not sure. You are a detective.
Colonel Weston will vouch for me.
Ah, well then. Of course you can. I'm happy to be of service, I'm sure.
Merci, madame. You do the great service for Poirot. The tablets of Monsieur Lane are most certainly Troyaner.
Hello, Poirot. Enjoying your holidays?
I will let you be the judge of that, my friend. I have several things to discuss with you.
Carry on.
Mrs. Marshall has been receiving threatening messages.
The devil, you say? From whom?
That is yet unclear. I would like to compare them to the type on your machine.
You think I've been sending them?
I must try every possibility, my friend, however remote.
Be my guest.
There, you see, Hastings, the E, the M, and the H. This is the typewriter used to write the threatening notes beyond any doubt. There is no doubt. The notes were typed on this machine.
But that's impossible.
No one visits you here?
Well, of course. Many people do. In addition to my regular police duties, there's the Home Guard, the evacuation. Hang on.
You have thought of something?
I'd hate for it to be true. That girl at the hotel, she popped in with all sorts of questions about the evacuation. I think she wanted to be told the hotel was being closed. I expect the order any day now, by the way.
Was it Linda Marshall?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it was. Bit nasty, that. Writing threatening messages to her own stepmother.
Very nasty indeed. Especially since she apparently also stole Mademoiselle Darnley's typewriter and hid it in Christine Redfern's room to incriminate her. Well done, Hastings. I see the little grey cells are hard at work. Is Mrs. Castle a member of the Home Guard?
Yes, she volunteered, although she hasn't been of much use.
Why do you say that?
The sightings of U-boats don't match what my other watchers are reporting. I'm not sure she's truly watching at all.
I am afraid it is worse than that. She has a German radio, a code book, and a signal lantern in her safe.
Good God, a fifth columnist here in Leathercombe Bay. I'll have her arrested immediately.
Please do not as yet. If you watch her, she may lead you to her associates.
Ah, you're right. I'll have her followed if she leaves the island.
Excellent! What can you tell me of Alice Corrigan's murder case?
Nasty bit of work. Her husband had a motive, but an unbreakable alibi as well. Not my district, but I have some notes at my office.
Could you obtain for me the summary of the report?
I'll have it sent over from Kingsbridge this afternoon.
Did the report on the Millie Parsons case arrive?
Yes, here it is. I was in London through most of it, in Home Guard and evacuation meetings. I hope to have a look at it again once things quiet down. If they quiet down, that is.
Ah, merci. I will read as I make my notes. Hastings, look over these notes of the alibi of the teacher Gideon Fell. Tell me what you see.
Fell was certainly acting suspiciously.
Yes, but that could be put down to his natural distress over a pupil's murder.
He walked a long way back to the school.
I thought the same. But if he had taken the bus, the driver would be a witness. He could not risk that.
Something about the film? Fell was alone there for 2 hours.
What is the most important fact concerning that film and Fell's alibi?
The length. Plenty of time to be up to no good.
I agree, my friend. But something else is more significant.
The subject matter. I bet it was voodoo.
Most certainly it was. But we had already begun to suspect this is a subject he taught in his anthropology class.
The title.
Curse of the Islands? And why is it significant?
Linda Marshall told us Fell took her and some friends to see it.
And this tells you?
He knew the story already.
And the theater ticket he had in his possession for the 12th of April?
He bought the ticket, but he never went in.
You have it, my friend. Well done. Colonel?
Yes?
The Millie Parsons affair. This alibi of the teacher, Gideon Fell. It does not hold the liquid.
Water, Poirot.
It does not hold its water.
Oh?
There are witnesses. Girls at the school that will tell you that Monsieur Fell took them to see Curse of the Islands before that night.
You don't say.
Fell, he leaves the restaurant at 7:40. He buys the ticket at the theater nearby, a matter of a few moments only. Then he walks to the corpse. He is there shortly before 15 minutes to 9, the time Millie Parsons' ballet class it is finished. He waits. The girl arrives. The murder, it is done. He walks back to the movie theater in time to see the end upon the screen.
By Joe, Poirot, you're astounding.
I had the information you lacked, my friend. That is all.
I need to write up a report on this at once. I've assigned a man to keep an eye on Mrs. Castle, should she leave Leathercombe Bay.
Morning, sir. I was just off to do an errand. Say, you don't happen to know anything about motor cars, do you?
Yes, I do. Hastings, what is this you make me say? I know nothing of motor cars.
I do, Poirot. Let's see what he's on about.
What would you like to know?
Major Barry's car needs its points cleaned. He wants it as soon as possible, but I have to test the motor on the sea tractor. It's been a bit dodgy lately. I wouldn't want to strand anyone on the island. I'd be in your debt if you could help me out.
The young scoundrel asks such a thing of the world's greatest detective?
Hang on, Poirot. It wouldn't hurt to have a bright lad like Jenks on our side.
I see no points on the car of Major Barry. And the motor cars, they are filthy.
Nonsense. You'd think you'd never heard of soap. I've never cleaned points myself, but all we need are some instructions. The current issue of Motor Enthusiast magazine has an exceptionally clear article on the subject.
out! Something pricked me.
It's a sliver of metal. Must be magnetic. Can't say I see much point in hanging on to a magnetic sliver of metal, but you never know.
As you say, Hastings, you'll never know. The cars, they do not belong to Poirot. Poirot will leave them be.
It isn't fair. I should be able to go for a spin, if only to clear the cobwebs from my brain.
In the interest of friendship, I will not comment about the cobwebs. No, it is not possible. Does nothing I confess that your logic... Your instincts are well honed, mon ami. Without error, mon ami. The puzzle, it is one piece closer to completion.
Well done, old man.
There is not enough soap in all of Devon to restore my hands.
Morning, sir. Got the tractor motor purring like a kitten. Any luck with Major Barry's automobile?
Why, yes. Against all expectation, I have cleaned the tips with much success.
Beg your pardon?
Points, old man.
And the points as well.
Smashing. Much obliged, sir. Like a ride to the island?
Yes, please.
Let's be off then. There's lots of talk of Tom Cutter's treasure. It's said to still be buried on the island somewhere. Jewels and gold and all the usual in a chest. When I was younger, me mates and I would search for it. We were convinced it was up on that hill, the western side of the island. The way the story goes, Tom Cutter would spend hours up there just looking out over the sea. We never found so much as a singular coin, though.
North 20, east 19, then north 15. Let's see where we end up, shall we?
1, 2, 3, 4. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Hastings, here too is the depression in the ground, remember?
Dig, Poirot, dig!
Luckily for you, Poirot is an expert gardener. You have seen my vegetable marrows.
There! You've hit something! Tom Cutter's treasure is...
3 gold dots. Congratulations.
At least they're gold. Oh, better fill in the hole, Poirot. Wouldn't do for anyone to injure themselves.
As you yourself would say, well played, Hastings. You have correctly deduced that Tom Cutter's Ton 80 was the key to unlocking their secret door.
Thanks, old man.
Voila! The ghost of Tom Cutter becomes someone wearing a coat covered with luminescent paint.
Footprints everywhere.
One man, no ghost, passed along here many times. May know, my friend Hastings, I could blunder about in these tunnels for hours while who knows what crimes are committed in my absence. I need some means to ensure I am traveling in the proper direction.
Beach is certainly empty this morning.
I believe Captain Marshall will be swimming shortly.
Everyone else off on excursions, I expect. Major Barry wanted to go into Knightsbridge if his car was fixed.
The Major? He has business in Kingsbridge?
Oh, he was complaining of the lack of privacy when using the phone in Leathercombe Bay post office. I can't imagine what he has to be so secretive about. Can you, Oakley?
No, darling.
You do not take the excursion?
I was saying to Mr. Gardner only this morning, we simply must make an excursion to Dartmoor. It's quite near and the associations are all so romantic, aren't they, Oakley?
Yes, darling. I've always wanted to visit the Dartmoor prison.
You do not knit at the ledges this morning?
No, Miss Darnley was there before us and didn't seem to be in the mood for chatting. So we came here. Didn't want to disturb her, did we, Oakley?
No, darling.
The motor car, it is repaired.
Oh? Isn't that splendid, Oakley?
Yes, darling.
Oakley, I don't believe I've got that second shade of purple wool. It's in the second drawer of the bureau in our bedroom, or it might be the third.
Yes, darling.
Good morning, Mr. Redfern.
I don't see anything good about it.
Goodness, he's in a mood.
There is no need to disturb Mademoiselle Darnley. Let her enjoy her book. Madame Redfern.
Oh, Monsieur Poirot, I have the sketch you asked me for.
Merci, madame. Let her enjoy their sunshine, Hastings. Mademoiselle Brewster, you have had a pleasant morning?
Good morning, Mr. Poirot. Well, I was, until somebody chucked something at me from the balcony up there.
Mademoiselle, I have looked into Millie's murder.
And?
I believe I have found the one responsible for her death.
Who was it?
Colonel Weston is having his men follow up on certain facts I placed before him. While I cannot tell you with absolute certainty, nevertheless, the indications are very strong that the one they will question is our man. Every instinct tells me he is the man, and I promise you, he will be brought to justice.
Mr. Poirot, I can't tell you how much this means to me.
She was a good friend to you, young Millie.
Yes, she was. She was an innocent. Mr. Poirot, I can't bear it when the innocent suffer.
You have the good heart, mademoiselle. I am happy I was able to assist you. Something was thrown at you?
I was having my usual morning swim at about 10:30, when all of a sudden, whoosh, something hit the water very near my head.
You do not know what it was, the projectile?
No, I would have swum down for it, but the water's pretty deep here, and my ears won't take the pressure. If you'll excuse me, it's time for my row. The exercise will do me good.
I say, Poirot, he seems to be typing up quite a storm.
Yes, please?
On me way. I've been looking after the hotel garage and driving the sea tractor for almost 5 years now. Motor cars are my passion. I keep the guests' motors clean and full of petrol. I also tend to any repairs they might need as well. Just look at that Major Barry's motor now. A 1938 Triumph Dolomite. It's a beautiful piece of British style and manufacturing. I can't think but what the war effort will take all the great designers to work on tanks and whatnot.
Could you send a sketch to Scotland Yard for identification?
Be glad to. I've seen the fellow about. You think he's up to no good?
I do.
I'll try to have an answer for you this afternoon.
Merci. Thank you, monsieur.
Hello. Somebody's having a bath. Leaving it rather late in the morning, weren't they?